Welcome to Spotlight Gulf Coast, a weekly showcase of people and events across South Mississippi. Spotlight Gulf Coast is partnered with William Carey University and sponsored by the IP Casino Resort and Spa, the Trenchard Scholarship Fund, and the Butch Ostelet Foundation.
Hi everyone, this is Todd Trenchard, Executive Director of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi, welcoming you to another segment of Spotlight Gulf Coast right here on WXXV. Each week we're coming into your living room talking about what's going on all across our region, and we want to thank our sponsors for this generous opportunity. Today we're going to talk about an organization that I've gotten involved with, and I mean talk about some doers that get out there and do a lot of good for our community, the crew of Neptune, and of course the Trident Foundation. And we have with us today Daniel D'Amico. And Daniel,
yes,
appreciate, found out you're from New Orleans, so we got something in common.
Yes, sir.
That's Italian heritage and...
Absolutely, Italian heritage, and my mom is from Opelousas, Louisiana, so that is Cajun influence as well.
I'm sure you talked to Joel, who's coming on here.
Oh, yeah.
He's a big old Cajun boy. And Kenny Foreman, Kenny, you're on the Trident board.
That's correct.
And we want to talk a little bit about that. But I said this a few years ago, and I'm in Gulf Coast, and I said, Neptune and Trident have become a force here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
Yes.
It's, an organization that, sure, have a good time, have a great ball, have a lot of members, but they get involved. So let's start really with that from the foundation standpoint. Let's talk about, the foundation came about sort of like the arm of Neptune.
Yes, that's correct. And, with Neptune being such a large crew now, it's up to 550, maybe a little more, a little less, but around that general number right now of membership. And the Trident Foundation is the philanthropy side of it. It's grown so much. The volunteers are out there. We do so much in the community nowadays with disaster relief and things of that nature. And this is our second annual event that we're going to speak on in a little bit. But we had to come up with something to start raising money because we're getting so big.
Right.
So, this year I'm on the Neptune board, Kenny's on the Trident board, and we discussed a way of raising money for something that we all have a big passion for, and that's disaster relief. So this year's event, being sponsored by the Trident Foundation, is any money raised is going to our disaster relief fund. That's where the money's going to go to this year.
And we're hoping that we don't have to use it.
Right.
I hope so. I really do hope so.
I mean, the last couple of years have been some doozies.
Right. We're in the heart of the season right now. Thankfully, we haven't had anything break out, but that can happen anytime. We've got something out there now. Supposed to make a right turn, so let's keep our fingers crossed that happens.
Sometimes they do a little swirl.
Right. We've seen that happen. Right. Had several of them come through like that. So to speak on the foundation a little bit, and this, obviously being a part of it yourself, but the board of directors of the Trident Foundation, all of us have to be, part of our bylaws state that we have to be a part of the crew of Neptune.
Right.
So everything that we do, the reason why the crew came up with this, I mean, we've got, as he said, 550, 560 members, and we just have a passion for doing good for this community. We're all from here. We grew up here, most of us, and we've got roots here, and we've been through some of the major storms. We've all had personal losses and things like that. So it's a passion of all of us to try to do our best to help out our fellow neighbor. And just like yourself, I mean, you've got a heart for a giver, right? You're a servant. You have a servant's heart, and so we banded together. We've really doubled down this year on the Trident Foundation itself, and what can we really do to break out. We're the largest crew in the state of Mississippi, certainly the largest crew on the coast, and we have a brand, and we love to be known for the great parties that we put on, right? Great parades, great ball, all that good stuff. But at the end of the day, we want to be remembered for what we do best, and that's take care of our fellow man.
And obviously do that quite well, but don't minimize the coming together and having those parties, because that builds capacity.
100%.
It does,
And
absolutely.
gives people that work
100%.
with and shop with, and I've met so many people. The first one I went to, I think it was before Brad was my roommate up in college.
I wouldn't tell a lot of people
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
So.
you can only imagine. But I could see it right away. I was like, man, if this could get mobilized and do something. And of course, at the time, it was just the golf tournament. The golf tournament was
Right.
raising a little bit of money, but then the disaster came. Then some of the Christmas,
Correct.
the toys for Christmas, and the needs come bigger.
Sure.
And what better way than to get 500 guys to step forward and their spouses, so it's a,
Yep.
Right.
it really is a great mindset. And I want to jump right into, I think what the Smoke in the Coast is going to be coming up here. I think it's a great idea.
Correct.
And y'all aren't like shying away from competition or big event to be part of the biggest event on the coast.
So,
Cruising the Coast.
Right.
yeah, so last year it was a discussion being had between myself and Madison Rossinet, another board member of the Crew of Neptune. And we was like, what is something we could raise money by doing? And I used to cook for many years in KCBS barbecue tournaments. So I've done it for about 9 years. And Madison's father-in-law is actually a Memphis MA winner. So we have a barbecue background. And so I started doing research on it, and I was like, I think we can do this. We have the backing of the Crew of Neptune, the Trident Foundation, and things like that. Let's give it a shot. But I said, if we're going to do this, let's go all in. And it blew up in 4 months. Having the background like I do, I was able to start pushing out to teams that I already knew that competed.
Right.
So it helped a little bit. But next thing you know, I got sanctioned by the Memphis Barbecue Network, which is a nationally barbecue network. And by doing so, we was able to get pro teams. I had, we had 12 or 13 pro teams last year. We're well above that number already this year. We're not going to have any issue breaking that number. But it's all for points. It's all for big time money. But it's also, we did it to where we can have a patio division / backyard division that anyone can compete.
Right.
So we have, teams from within the Crew of Neptune. We have teams from locally from Ocean Springs, Biloxi. If you're a backyard guy that just wants to cook ribs on the weekend, and hey, you got a sauce that you enjoy, come on out. We'll take from guy in the backyard drinking cold beer to professional teams that are coming. I have one team coming from Virginia. So I mean, we really do have a widespread reach nowadays.
Sort of like the Crawfish Bowl, just sort of expanded.
Oh, yeah.
The Crawfish
Yes.
Bowl, same thing.
Right.
A little competition between everybody, and you have everything boiled in there. I was like picking through it. I was like, what in the world is it? It's like, an apple or
Right.
Everybody's got their own little thing.
Well, fortunately for this year too, we've got a pretty amazing weekend that lined up. We're very,
Really
very, very blessed to be able to have it lined up the weekend that it did. But we're going to coincide with Thunder Over the Sound this year, which is going to be, of course, the Thunderbirds Air Show that's going on the weekend of October 31st,
Right.
Obviously Halloween, and November the 1st. So Friday and Saturday is when our event will be taking place. And
I'm sure a lot of y'all be dressing as witches and all this. Yeah.
I will say this though, bring the kids because
Yeah.
we've got
Friday night, yes.
Friday
Right.
night we're doing trunk or treat. So if you're looking for a place to take the kids that's safe, that they're gonna have a ball. I mean, parents get to enjoy this. Kids will obviously enjoy it. We're also doing a kids competition as well. And so all the funds all the money that's going to be entry fee wise for that particular competition is going to be given back to all the kids in prizes.
Right.
So, so if we got however many we've got involved in it, that's the amount of money that's going to be split as far as prize pool for those kids.
And that meat this year will be pork chops that has actually been donated by Butcher on Tucker. Anything to do with the kids, we have a lot of support.
Yeah.
Also, when it comes to prizes for the kids, Margaritaville stepped up and they're going to do a bunch of things for their Ferris wheel amusement area as well.
Right. That's a good place to have it. We've done some big biking events there where we have all the bikers get together and go out from there. That piece of property is just perfectly situated.
Yeah.
You know, have something right on the beach.
It's
and it
actually
won't be 3,000 degrees.
Right. It's actually a big selling point for some of these teams. They see that, you know, last year we did it and they were right there at waterfront. They got the sunrise in the morning, the cool breeze off the water. You know how it is.
Right.
Last weekend in October. And everyone is over the moon about it again this year. It's just a location. You can't not beat that location for an event like this.
Right.
So how if somebody wanted to come out, they buy tickets at the door, they can get them online?
So Friday night will be free to the public. Like you said, we're going to do a trunk or treat. Every team that has signed up so far has graciously said, yes, we will do the trunk or treat. They're going to decorate their booths. They're going to go all out with it. There's actually going to be some what we call ancillary categories going out Friday night as well. You know, they'll be competing in like baked beans, margaritas, things of that nature, little small things. These teams are cooking, you know, some of these teams start cooking a whole hog the night before,
Right.
which you're well aware of. So it gives them something to do Friday night while they're doing that. So they'll do ancillary categories and giving out candy and things of that nature as well.
Okay. We're about running out of time. I want to make sure y'all go back and use this program for anything we can get out and get the public engaged in and get behind. You're sold as soon as you go there and see one of these events. I mean, it's just it's a no-brainer. I was like, why wouldn't you join Neptune for what, $500 to have all these get-togethers and to have all this?
Right.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
So
what a value.
I think we're up to 12 or 13 events a year.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always something going, and
Always.
that's not including what you do within your own personal line that you're in.
Right.
That is just Neptune events themselves. So the money is well worth it. You know, like I tell a lot of people that want to sign up, our ball has gotten so big, the ticket prices are $175 a piece. You buy 2 tickets, you might as well join for another $100.
Right.
It's really gotten to that point. So I think it's well worth it.
It definitely is, and you might even get to see Spanky waving that Ole Miss flag. I don't need this. Guys, I appreciate y'all coming on.
Todd, I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
We're going to take a short commercial break. We're going to come back. We're going to be talking with our friends at Discipleship 33, so don't touch that remote. Welcome back, everyone. We're now going to talk about Discipleship 33, and you'll maybe asking yourself, what is that? Well, it's the brainchild of Ronnie Arant, and Ronnie, I think that I guess that would be your position, sort of the person that maybe came up with this, and yourself, Joel Ostlund, of course, Drew Hurd. What I like to say, it's people that want to make a difference and improve the success rate. And I've been waiting a very long time to, see this type of synergy come about because I know that recovery has a lot more than just being checked into a place and, hey, you're fine. There's a lot of pieces to it, and this is going to greatly, I think, improve the success rate and, of course, along with this, permanent housing. So we have a lot to talk about. Why don't you tell us where the idea came from and a little bit about this?
Okay, so it all started 2 years ago. Myself, Joel, and Drew Hurd, we all work for the Home of Grace. Home of Grace is an inpatient drug and alcohol treatment center for men and women. So at the Home of Grace, someone comes for 3 months, up to 6 months, even a year they can stay at the Home of Grace, but at some point they have to leave. And so what we were finding is some of these individuals didn't have safe places to go to. They didn't have any safe environment or family or atmosphere to go into. They needed some additional care after their time at the Home of Grace had ended. So me and Drew decided, we prayed about it and we found a house, and we started off with one house in the Pascagoula area. That went so well, we were blessed, and we got 2 more houses within a year, and we started one women's house and another men's house. And currently, it's been going really well. One of our women's counselors at the Home of Grace, Catherine Beatty, is actually our women's director. She runs the women's house, and we have 5 women currently, and we have 15 men currently in the Pascagoula area. And it's just God has just blessed us in so many ways to see a man and a woman come out of a treatment or come out of a different situation, environment, and come into housing and get a job and get a car and go back and get their GED and just change their life, get their kids back. It's really truly been a blessing more for us than them, just being able to witness that through this journey. And you know, as we grow, we want to continue to grow. And like I said, we're in the Pascagoula, Jackson County area now, but we're really praying we want to be in Harrison County. You know, we want to start some of these houses like we're doing in Jackson County and Harrison County.
I know that, you know, it's sort of Trinity House on steroids. You know, when I started doing this, everybody that knew me out in the business community wanted to know how was I going to stay involved. And so I, same thing, you know, I was afforded a house to start some program. Drew, of course, went through it, and some others that are still around today. But you started seeing those that did had a lot more of a success because, you know, time is one of the missing ingredients. And the longer you can get a structured environment, and that time, obviously, you're going to, you know, learn some new patterns of life. And now, Joel, you're, I guess, the lead counselor out there, and
yes, sir.
You got a little bit of schooling. I'm not even sure what that is. I used to ask questions like, how many fans did you have on you when you checked in? You know, and if you had 20, then you qualify.
Absolutely. I'm fortunate enough to be the lead counselor out there at the Home of Grace, like Ronnie was talking about. So often, that missing piece like you're talking about, the more time somebody puts in on the front end in recovery and in a structured environment with the accountability, the better success they're going to have on the back end. So the more opportunities, the more places that people are allowed to go, the better off they're going to be.
Right.
And there just weren't many options. So we've been very blessed.
I know that we've been just in a very short period of time, you know, set up a board of directors, and you know, quick to jump onto that, but also some of the partnerships, you know, that just getting out there, you know, Butch starting this homeless thing may bring people that didn't come there for one thing and it ends up something else, and that's what it's all about, you know, learning about open doors, some of the things that they do, learning about the mental, you know, illness aspect of it. You know, as long as you're involved in this type of work, you can always learn more. And I think that it's sort of been remarkable to see how quickly that is happening. And we're going to have to take a short commercial break here. I want to come back and talk about where maybe you see the future of this going. I do want to say when this thing airs, I'll have 28 years, and that's,
Yes.
you know, like I said,
Congratulations,
I think
yes.
we said that at lunch, you know, 28 days, 28 years. You think about that for somebody that was just live, breathe, and sleep. That's not normal. That's not of this world. And so, you know, you can look back at something and like, wow. But if you didn't do anything with it, then you've really done nothing. And that's what I love about what y'all doing. You're passing it on. And so I think we have an obligation to do that. We're going to take a short commercial break. We're talking about Discipleship 33, so y'all don't touch that remote. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. We're now getting back to Discipleship 33. We got Joel Ostwood, who's the lead counselor out at the Home of Grace, and of course one of the integral parts of this, and Ronnie Aran, who helped start the program off a vision with Drew Hurd. And you know, Ronnie, I've known you for a while. You used to bring the men over to Trinity House, and I was sizing you up. I was like, "What? This guy never talks, man. What is his deal here? You know, maybe they just use him to." And here you are. You know, I mean, But these are huge leaps for people like us to be a program director. I mean, I was like, I remember the accomplishment of my life. I was leading a class. I was like, I couldn't believe it. But you know, it's amazing to watch the light bulb go off and to see how God can use that. You know, and I don't put any limitations on this, but you'd almost have to not be watching to see that this isn't starting to, because this isn't something that we're even trying to do. It's almost just doing.
Yep, yep. And it's really has been amazing because God is the one doing it. And just the way it all fell in place from me to Drew to Joel to you, Todd, being on the board to, you know, Brother Wayne Hudson being on the board. Everything is just falling in place and falling in place with the Isolate Foundation. You know, like today, we received news that a generous donation from the Butch Isolate Foundation, and that is going to help towards us getting into Harrison County, but also we'll be able to apply outpatient counseling for the men and women that come through our program. So that is huge. Transitional living in itself is huge, and you know, requiring them to go to meetings and all this stuff is great, but being able to give them a licensed alcohol and drug counselor that they meet with every week, that is going to be huge in my opinion.
I think there's some you know, great things happening in the Home of Grace world. Of course, we'll be doing, you know, the Guide to Giving section in December in the magazine, where we can get out the different things and directions that maybe the Home of Grace is going. But also, you know, that vision for the future. You got to have a vision for the future, and not just continue to do, you know, the same thing. And like I said, over and over again, you know, having structured environment for, you know, 6 months to a year. I mean, obviously that's gonna, I mean, we don't come here, we would say, eating ice cream.
Right.
I mean,
The person didn't come because they didn't get there overnight. They're not going to change overnight.
So, and of course, you're, you know, in the field where you're actually doing counseling. I think that, you know, having an office over in Harrison County is certainly going to help over here.
Yes.
You know, we like to think that everybody's heard of Home of Grace and all. No, they haven't. I mean, I go all the time. They still have no clue. You know, why do you wear that shirt? And so it may be prevalent in our minds, in our world, but, you know, the more we can get that out, you know, hopefully others will step forward, like a Butch Isolate that, you know, again, this is a connection that Butch knew.
Right. Yeah, those partnerships are invaluable. Obviously, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without those partnerships and the communities. And that's honestly the best marketing is when somebody comes through the program and gets out and goes back to the community and is successful, and people see that and kind of rally behind them and the Home of Grace and get involved. You know.
Now, as far as the future going, Ronnie, I think you're. You know, saying, you know, trying to get over into Harrison County. I know you were showing me the picture of a, you know, a place, you know, it's over here. That 3/4 way housing sort of template, everybody that hears it, you know, how do I learn more about that? And I guess that information comes, we have a website, right?
Yeah, we have a website on discipleship33.org.
And I know that a lot of the judges you know, that I've known for, you know, decades now, you know, their drug court judges are asking me questions, you know, because they want that structure. That improves what they're doing and their success rate, and so they're willing to certainly get on board. I think maybe the next step, or somewhere here pretty soon, we need to get everybody together in a think tank and you know, get everybody in a direction, because if you could have in-house treatment to 3/4 way treatment to permanent housing, and then get those people to get. I mean, you got a very you know, powerful little tool there. So, guys, I appreciate y'all coming on, and you know, again, other thing I like about what y'all are doing with Discipleship 33 is getting everybody together. I know we went to a football game, just getting to know each other. I mean, it's you know. This isn't something for the, you know, Monday through Friday crowd. I mean, a lot of times the calls are on the weekends.
And we're trying to teach these men and women too. It's not just, it's how to have fun. You know, I mean, following Jesus and being in recovery, your life isn't over. It's just beginning. And that's when we take them to basketball games, football games. We just show them there's more to life than drugs and alcohol.
Well, I appreciate it, guys, y'all coming on, and you know, again, look forward to many, many more years of doing this, and appreciate what y'all do.
Absolutely, appreciate it.
And we appreciate everybody's support of the Baco Foundation of South Mississippi. And until next time, this is Todd Trenchard saying so long and may God bless.